Hello, and thank you for your interest in Idencia. Idencia is a web-hosted platform for tracking infrastructure product information from the time of manufacture to the end of useful life. This video shows how the system can be used to track concrete test information. The ready-mix, precast manufacturing, and concrete laboratory industries can save millions by moving their records from paper to digital access. In the case of concrete test result tracking, customers tag their samples and enter the results on a tablet in the field and laboratory. These results are automatically uploaded to their web-hosted Idencia accounts. Samples can be tagged with barcodes or RFID tags. These tags create a serial number that is the point of reference for the uploaded test results. The system works with concrete cylinders and cubes. As soon as the test results are uploaded, Idencia automatically creates reports in the format you already use. No more time consumed with record filing or test report preparation. Idencia's grouping feature automatically associates each cylinder with the pour from which it was produced, reducing the potential for mistakes and increasing efficiency. The demo that follows shows how this works and the way that Idencia tracks information in the user's web-hosted account.
First thing we'll do is actually scan some tags and create a group so that we can emulate the cylinder tracking process. So I have the Idencia app on my phone here, and we click Create a Group. I have 9 tags in front of me, as we've set up the group to be. So I'm scanning it, and I'll scan one more time, and you'll see down here at the bottom it says item group limit has been reached. That means that we have the 9 tags scanned that we want to record. So we'll click Next, and it shows us that we in fact have created a group. The group number is the date and time stamp, and referencing the fact that these are concrete cylinders, and it gives us the serial numbers on each of the tags in that we just scanned. So I'll click Next here, and we'll move over to the default process that has been set up for concrete cylinders or cubes. In this case, the first thing we wanted to record was sampling information. So we've asked for the date here, which is defaults to today's date. If you want to change it, you just click on the date itself and make the change. We set up an example of a project sequence. If there's a certain order to the cylinders that you're tracking within the project, you can create that nomenclature within the system and use whatever numbering system or labeling system you're used to using. So we just set it up with N1 in this case. And at the same time, automatically, the system is capturing the latitude and the longitude of where we're doing it. So you'll actually see on the map where the cylinders are coming from in your project. That being done, we'll click Next. And the system says we're done collecting the sampling information. This is a page in the app that comes up optionally. If you don't want it to show it, we can set it so that it will not. And the next phase of the test is asking for the pour date, which we have again defaulted, the concrete mix number, which we populate in the system according to the mix numbers you use so that you can work from a pick list. And then the areas in blue are assigned, that's the information we need to collect from the wet test. And you'll notice that the next button down here is shaded. We can't move forward because this information hasn't been collected. So we'll input that information, just picking some numbers. And as you see, when we input the information and answer the question, what was blue becomes white, and we can move forward. So we'll say concrete temperature 78 and ambient temperature 72. Now, by the way, these categories, you can have whatever category of information you want. We actually work with you to set up, to teach you how to set up the system to configure the tablet questions from your management portal. Another thing I'll point out, by the way, is if you see these little 3 dots next to every question that's asked, those are for notes. So if there's a note to be added, all you have to do is click on that and add the note there, and the system will record that note. Now that we've input the wet test information, you see that we can proceed because the next button is no longer gray, and we're told that the concrete test is complete. So we'll move next, and we're assuming in this demo that the next thing that happens is that the cylinders are brought from the field into the laboratory. So we have the system set up to ask us what date it is, which is still the default date of May 3rd. And the demo assumes that you want to have somebody sign for receiving the samples. So all they have to do is click on the capture signature and use their finger to write on the tablet their initials, which I hope are actually more legible than mine. And you can see we're done. If we want to check the signature, we just click on that and we see that the signature is there. And we proceed to next. So now we're in the laboratory. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break off from the entry of information because we're going to assume that the cylinders will sit in the laboratory for a day before we start stripping them. Our management portal here, this is our demo site. And you can see that we just, the system just recognized the group that I just created. I made concrete cylinders. It's been done on May 3rd. I'm on the wrong one, so I'll sort it up here. May 3rd, 2018, and it recognizes that Jeff Pollock was the one who collected this information. So we'll drill down into that group, and we'll get the primary information that we set up for the group. This is the serial number of the group itself, the date and time stamp, references that these are cylinders, again, today's date, and that I was the one that set it up. And it produces the basic information from the wet test that I collected. All of that information is right here. You also see to the right that the GPS location was collected, and the test information appears on a map so that you can readily recognize where it was in the field that this was taken. You see here that the cylinder group was in fact delivered to the laboratory and received by me. There's my signature, and the information that I did collect is now individually recited here. We have the sampling information that we started with. We have the concrete test information that I collected and input here. We also show that the samples were moved to the laboratory and they were received with a signature. It shows the signature was taken. And again, it associates me with this because this was my account that was used to collect this information. Now, I mentioned before that we stopped with a stripping break because we needed to give it a day. So this information is here, ready to be collected, but is not yet entered in the system. If I scan one of the tags that are in the group, it will take me to the place where we left off for the group, which is the stripping break. So you can see I can now resume this, the process of adding information, starting where we left off when we received the information, we received the cylinders in the laboratory. So we input this information. If we have 3 stripping breaks, we can input all 3, and all of that information will be retained. We enter it and we proceed next. Now the stripping break is complete, and if we go from here, it will next take us to the 7-day break. So when we scan the tag the next time, 7 days from now, this is where the system will take us and we'll start recording information from there.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like to talk about how Idencia can help your company transition to digital records, give us a call or reach us at idencia.com. Thank you.